it looks like that thing is, oh, there it is. It's coming down. Multiple vortex. Back it up. Looks like multiple vortex coming from the base. There it is coming down. It's going from middle to the left. It's getting lower on the left side, right side. There we go. We're coming together with both of them. Bingo. Right there. It looks like the left side, that whole thing is turning right now.
Yep.
As you came to me, this thing is getting its act together right now. That's a pretty wide tornado. If it goes ahead and forms completely to the ground, and you can see those rain curtains down there spinning. That's a tube.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tube.
It's
on the ground.
It is on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's straight west of Freedom, right down the river is what it looks like. It looks like it may be up on the bluffs on the north side, on the south side of the river is what it's looking like. I don't know if that's debris or just rain being lifted on the left side there at the base. So, all right, there, look over there to the left. There's some more being lifted.
Yep.
Look at it.
Yep, another vortex. Look at that.
I mean, yeah.
Look at that, guys.
Look left.
Look right here.
Right there. Right there.
Yep, here we go again. And that's going to be an extension.
Look up high. We got two tornadoes.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay, I see the big one. Where's the second one? Oh, right here.
Closest to us. Yeah,
okay.
Close to us.
Two tornadoes.
Wow.
Welcome to springtime in Oklahoma, everybody. If you're new to the state, welcome. So there's your new tornado. And, wow, look at this. There's your new tornado. And then here's the original mezzo. So two tornadoes on the ground at the same time. All right, there's your...
That's why we had that other spin off to the left.
Yep.
That's from this other tornado.
Right there. And Marty, zoom back in on that. It's still on the ground there. There's your cone. From this one, this is a front tornado that came out of the mezzo. This thing has got creepies and crawlies all over it. Look at this, folks. Zoom in, Marty. Have Kyle zoom in. There's your... Look at the debris. Look at the debris now. Tornado on the ground from that other cone that's east. Look at the debris. It hit something. We had debris in the air. There's your tornado. Right there. There you go. Live, only on News 9. Right there. There's your vortice. That attaches. You're thinking, I don't see a cone. I know. Because it's not quite strong enough to get the pressure to, look at that. Look at the elephant trunk. Oh man. Look at that. Goodness. Okay, so the back tornado, it looks to me like
this is neat.
It might be weakening some. And then we have the front tornado now that is on the ground. So cone in the back, that was the original mesocyclone. This is coming out of the original mesocyclone. This is just, again, a vortice. Okay, now we have a condensate. Now we're partying.
And it's pushing it away.
I know. Yeah, look at that. Look at the cone on that. Look at that. All right, is it on the ground? Marty, is that little cone still on the ground right there, that little tornado? Is it lifted?
Well, you can see that just a thread sand. I'm going to put it right in the center. There's a spin right there. I think it's coming down again. It's going to do it again. I do not see debris on the ground. It's horizontal. There's some scud lifting up off the tip of that tornado. Probably call it a funnel now, but, man, it's trying right now. And this is straight west of Freedom, straight west. I'm going to say probably 3 miles now. It's going horizontal, and I'm still watching that cloud behind it that was trying to go tornadic. So we have 1, 2 tornadoes in the same shot.
Yep.
There it is going horizontal. There's some more coming down.
Okay.
Maybe 2 to 3 miles straight west of Freedom. There it's roping out just a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely going away now. This is in the rope stage or the dying stage. And look at that. Boom. Look how fast this is going to, look at that. Now this is going to break off in pieces, and the vortices will continue to spin in the atmosphere. Now look, it's cut off, and what's left? A little bit of a vortice. And then,
hey, look here.
Go ahead.
Closer to me. Look at this. This may be a new area that we've got to watch. This is only 1 to 2 miles.
Yeah, we're cycling
west of town, right there.
Okay.
I don't see. Let me see.
Marty, hey Marty, I don't see the other tornado on the ground now.
No. All right. So there was number 1 tornado.
Yeah, it's lifted.
See it because of the heavy rain. Then number 2 tornado we just roped out.
Yes.
Now then we're on the third area right there. Look at that.
Right, but Marty, the first tornado, that's lifted too. The cone we had, the white cone, that's gone.
And that would verify on radar.
Yes.
It's totally gone. That couplet is gone.
Gone. Wow, look how it transferred.
But this is taken over close to me.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
would be closer to
This is
freedom.
only 1 to 2 miles west.
Yeah, we're going to be close to freedom. Okay, let's put Marty's box up here. So both tornadoes we had on the ground at the same time have lifted. And that's good for freedom, but we've done this song and dance before, okay? All right. Okay, let's go back to Lynx 1, and let's keep Marty shot up. Let's go back to Lynx 1. Look at radar here. And I want to point this out. You can easily see this on radar, okay? Let's take radar live, full Lynx 1. And, keep Marty shot up. Thank you. There's your hook, right? Boom. See how look at that. I mean, this thing's putting on a clinic. There goes your first meso. There goes your first tornado we had live. Boom, that lifts, and then the second one came in. So you can easily see that on radar. I want to point out there's a damaging hailstorm going on along and north of 64. We're just north of Marty. We're getting baseballs, tennis balls, and baseball-sized hail. I mean, literally to his left, a football field away. They're getting hammered right now. Okay? He's on the bend. Freedom's right here. The tornado is west-northwest of town. I'll say it again. If you live in Freedom, west to northwest of Freedom, lowest level, center part of the house, storm shelter, you got to go there. Right? You at least have to be ready to go, okay? But right now they've lifted. The tornadoes have lifted, which is good. But wow, big storms, big storms. And you're thinking, why is it doing this? We had an outflow, and we talked about this last couple of days in the Weather Center. We had rain-cooled air. We had a boundary that came through this morning, right, and all that. And there was a boundary that settled up here. And that storm went up on that boundary, and you have an east to southeast wind. And that puts the shear in the atmosphere at a whole different level. If this boundary's not up here today, this isn't happening. There's probably not any storms up here, and there's certainly not any tornadoes up here. But because of that outflow boundary, that little front, that's why all this is happening today. And there you go, okay? So, wow. All right, so you folks in Freedom. Okay, so Marty is still in place, obviously. And I'm looking in his shot.
And his GPS has not updated, just to let you know.
Okay, where is he right now?
He's in Freedom.
He is in Freedom now?
Yeah, he is in the north side of Freedom now.
Okay, all right. Okay, so everybody in Freedom, give Marty a high five. Say hi to him. He's coming through town. Okay,
maybe another time.
What's that?
Maybe another time. Don't give him a high five. You need to be in your storm shelters.
Well, that's true. Yeah, don't run out to go see Marty.
Safe space.
But he's there. Marty is in Freedom. Okay, and be sure to tell him his GPS hasn't updated. I know he's got other problems to worry about. Okay, so there's velocity data. Let's go to shear rate. Marty's in Freedom. He's looking back to the west. There it is. It's still along the river. Here's Freedom. And hey, guys, how far is this from Freedom back to the meso? How far are we here? 2 miles? What do we got here? 2.9. 3 miles. So moving east-southeast at 15. Are we still doing 15? I mean, it's kind of hard to get a speed because they keep slowing down and cycling, but right now we'll say 10 to 15 miles per hour, not very fast. Freedom at about 7 o'clock, and it is 6:50. So Freedom, give or take about 10 minutes before the meso comes in and on top of you, okay? And then it's going to go right over Freedom. We're pretty close to town. Okay, so the tornado warning continues, and wow. All right, so there's your hook. We've had multiple hooks. This thing has really, really gone crazy. It's gone into overdrive mode. The first tornado has cycled. That mesocyclone pulled in, new one formed. That produced the 2 tornadoes. And now we're kind of in a holding pattern right now. Marty is in Freedom. Let's go back to Marty's shot. He's in Freedom. Let's take his shot full and get an update from Marty. And Marty, what do you think? There's the new wall cloud trying to develop. Just barely west to northwest of town. And are you looking due west right there, Marty? Is that absolutely like straight west?
Well, we are sitting a half mile southeast of Freedom. You can see the Freedom elevator in there just to the right. Let me square that shot up. There we go. See the elevator right underneath it? That's the town of Freedom. That storm is almost over Freedom. There's nothing down right now. There's a feeder band coming in over us. We have winds out of the east going west into it, so we still have inflow. Oh, what's this over here, Kyle? Turn your camera over there. We just saw something else farther out right on the river. So that may be another area we've got to watch right over there. And that's going to be to the southwest of this one that we're looking at right here over the town. Yep, there's something going on over there now.
Marty, you still there?
Yep,
Okay.
I see the, yeah. I'm
Okay.
out in the wind. The wind's kicking up.
Yep.
I've got east to west winds. It's feeding into the storm. So here's what we got. We got the same thing we had earlier north of Buffalo. On the right side of the shot, that's what we had the whichever tornado, number 1 or number 2, out of. And you look on the left side of the shot, we've got a fault over there that's going down, squaring off at the base, and that's right down on the river also.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got 2, and I have east wind. I mean, it's coming from behind me, blowing over our head and blowing into that storm. So it's feeding into it. The gasoline is going into the storm.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're not done yet.
No, and Marty, that's been the reason we've had tornado genesis here several times for the last couple of hours since 5 o'clock. So, yeah, Marty, stay there. I mean, you're in a good spot. We'll see what it does here. Your roads, I know they're not the best. They should be a little better as you get east of Freedom, hopefully, but they're not great up here. There's just the network, the grid of roads to chase is not great, right? There's a lot of this and all kinds of stuff. So, but Marty, he's been all over the place up here. Him and Kyle, they can find anything in any road and get through anywhere. Okay, great shot. Tornadoes not on the ground. It has been, and again, been on the ground multiple times. And here we go. So right now, though, the tornado has lifted. But if I'm in Freedom, that's a grain elevator in Freedom. Right now, it's not on the ground. Let's go back to Links 1 control room. And there's your hook. Here's Freedom. And look at the hook. It's getting a little bit tighter here. So this thing has cycled how many times today, right? A lot. Okay? There's the first cycle, right here, and then the second cycle. And that occluded or kind of pulled to the north. The next one formed, came right down the river, and now it's just to the west of Freedom. There's your couplet. Okay. So we have Marty shot there. Let's take a look at the control room, the video from earlier when this was the first tornado that we have live right here on News 9. Marty Logan and Kyle are right in the thick of it. And there's the tornado right there on the ground. And right here, you'll see a little condensate. It's on the ground right now, even though the cloud part, again, is not on the ground. This is on the ground. And there's a little debris swirl going on down here. We've saw it from time to time. Watch it. It's strengthening. It's getting a little bit stronger. Now watch on the ground. You're going to see a little tiny piece of condensate right here. Look at there, all the way. And then right there. Now you're thinking, okay, yeah. Now we know it's officially, but it was on the ground before that, okay? But there's your cone. And then this went on for 5 or 10 minutes. It was up. It was. Oh, we have the second piece. Okay. All right. So there's your tornado again. This is when it was west-northwest of Freedom, south of Highway 64. This was in Woods County. Now it's a double helix. It's starting to weaken. Look, it's a little more ragged. And then now it kind of tightens back up again. So when it starts to become a little more ragged, it's kind of slowing down a little bit. Starting to slow down. And then we went to this mode. And this mode is kind of wide at the top, still on the ground. Marty could see, again, a swirl on the ground. And you can see your cone there. Okay, so let's go to the second piece of video. And so this thing was doing this. This is the original tornado, right? Now look at this. You can hear Marty. Two tornadoes. Because I saw, and we saw it over here. We knew we had debris here from the original cone. See the big cone in the back? That's the first tornado that reformed again for the second or third time. And then check this out. Here's your elephant trunk, right? And then right over here, I told Marty, I was like, hang on a second. What's that swirl? And then that swirl was attached to this. So this was a forward tornado out ahead of the main tornado in the back. And this thing was on the ground for just a couple of minutes, right? This was, again, west-northwest of Freedom, about 5. Look at there. There you go. Tornado on the ground right there. Look at that. That is attached to that. And look, debris in the air. Debris in the air. Look at that. Tornado on the ground right there. And then that went up and attached to the elephant trunk to the top. Wow. Just crazy. Look at there. Look at the swirl going on. Yeah, there's a lot going on in that shot. So that was live right here on News 9, okay?
I'm gonna go back.
That's what we were doing.
Look at it. Look at it.
Okay, and there's your elephant trunk. And it goes from there right to there, right? Condensate's up here. If it were a bit stronger, you see condensate all the way down, but it's not, so we'll take it. But it's still not good. Still have debris on the ground. And then it died almost as fast as it formed. I mean, it stretches out and it just goes, it breaks off, and that's it. Okay, tornado warning continues. I want to point out there's another storm with another hook coming into northwestern Harper County. And that's a problem. Now, the atmosphere up here has been fairly worked over. So, guys, what do the obs look like up here?
And there's a northeast wind.
Where?
There in Harper County at Buffalo. There's a northeast wind. It's 69 over 51. So it's cooler, a little bit drier, but a northeast wind ahead of that.
Okay, so it might not do it.
So it has a little bit of an outflow boundary somewhere there in Harper County, and
okay.
that could interfere.
Back to Links 1. Hey, Lacey Swope.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good morning. Okay.
Good evening. Hi.
Somebody needs to tell her what time of day it is.
We had storms up here overnight last night. So the flooding for this area, I'm telling you, is going to be high. And we had the storm the day before.
Yes.
Up there as well.
Well, they had, I mean, this storm, the storm now that the other tornado warning we had 3 to 4 inches up there earlier.
Exactly.
So Harper County, man, I mean, feast or famine for you folks up there.
Absolutely.
It's insane. You're either too dry or you're too wet. I don't know where the averages are in Harper County, but I can't find them. All right, so this is a new hook developing. This is going to have big hail in it. That does have a mesocyclone in it, and then another storm in behind that. So Harper County, you're the target, north of Buffalo again. Big hail up there, quarters, golf balls, damaging hailstorm. And then we have Marty Logan's storm that is still producing big hail. Man, look at Marty's shot now. This thing is getting a little bit better organized. So let's go back to Freedom here. And there's your shear rate, maximum rotation, again, just northwest of Freedom. Marty is right here looking back to his northwest. That's his shot right there. That's a little more ragged, a little bit lower. And that's right here. What is shear rate?
Here's shear rate.
Okay. Okay, it's definitely not as strong as what it was. Okay, that's good.
It looks better on his shot, but low levels on radar just doesn't show it.
Yeah, look at storm strength though. It's come down some. It's not as strong as what it was, but the party is not over, right? No, we cannot let this thing go because it's still means business. And here's where your rotation has been with the tornado that was south of 64, cycled the tornado down on the river, cycled the tornado just a little bit farther east, and then here we are now. So let's go back to Marty's shot. So you folks in Freedom, again, let's not mess with this. Lowest level, center part of the house. Marty Logan, your shot, I'm trying to find, it looks like maybe on the left side of that shot, might trying to localize right here. And then again, I say that, and I look to the right, and that looks like that's trying to maybe, see how it's doing that? It's doing that right there. You go in, you go in. So that's trying to rotate too. Marty, give us an update. You and Kyle are right there looking right at it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Right there over the elevator, maybe. Yeah, this thing is not done, and it's like it's hit a brick wall again, and it's sitting over the town of Freedom. Again, it's very wide. This time, probably a half to 3/4 mile wide. Rotation, very broad rotation through this whole storm. Also, that place, that one over on the left side, way back in there on the river, it went away. Now look at it. It is starting to come together again. Man, we may be doing the I can't even say it, double tornado deal again. But this one right here close to me scares me because this is over Freedom. Right there. Is that doing anything?
Well, I mean,
rising motion right over town.
Yeah, definitely rising for sure. Yeah, we need to watch that. So you folks in Freedom, we've been saying Freedom. If I say Freedom, I'm going to have to move there. I've said it so much.
Exactly.
But Freedom, again, lowest level, safe spot. Don't mess around with this. It's not on the ground, but that looks like that's trying to localize. I still think right here. I still think right to the right of this pole. I don't know. I could be wrong on that one.
The mesonet site in Freedom has a southeast wind at 38 miles per hour feeding into that.
Yeah. Yeah. And the low-level jet is still maybe starting to pick up a little bit too as we get into this evening. So, okay, so anyway, tornado warning, Freedom, lowest level, center part of the house. This has produced multiple, at least 3 tornadoes, at least 3. And we've had all 3 live right here on News 9. Marty Logan and Kyle have been right there looking right at it. Okay, we'll keep that shot up. Let's go back to radar. And big hail. The hail core is not as fat. It's not as wide. It's kind of thinned out a little bit. Now, there's a meso there, right? Mm-hmm. There's your hook. And see what's happening here? That is a problem. Because
that would make sense if that lifts up and then it starts to localize on the backside.
That's what it
is almost exactly what it looks like, doesn't it?
And that's what it did earlier. So this comes in, and then that comes down, right? You can see the 2 double we had going on. Yeah, so it might be trying to go through its cycling phase. God, that shot looks crazy from Marty. Control room, let's put Marty Logan shot up here. We can take that one out. You can leave the Lacey up or the weather team, but I just want to look at that. Look at that foot.
Wow.
That's a problem. Okay, so Marty's in Freedom. Let's go back to Marty's shot here. So again, lowest level, Freedom, 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 okay? And let's get a storm track on this, guys. I know it's hard. Okay, so that's exactly, Marty's doing the right thing. Where is this going to tighten up? This might be the old meso here. Okay, we have lifting behind the trees, and then the new meso might be to his left. Okay, but if I'm in Freedom, west of Freedom still, 5 to 10 miles. If I'm north of Freedom, 5 miles. If I'm northwest of Freedom, 5 miles. Lowest level, center part of the house. You got to be watching this stuff, right? Okay, so we'll see if this is the old meso. I do believe right here. Then we have the new meso a little farther off to the west. Marty, go ahead and give us an update. 2 areas of concern, one just northwest of town and the other one west of town. It looks like the new meso now is getting stronger, Marty, due west-northwest of Freedom, about, 8 miles? 7-8 miles west of Freedom, where the other circulation is. Marty, go ahead. Give us an update.
Yep. So the 2 areas. So we're going to start off with this one right here. Looks to me like it's right over the north side of Freedom. We have rotation. A little while ago, the clouds were above those trees. The clouds are now below the trees. It's getting its act together. I'm getting scared about right there. Right there. Is that right in there, right in between those trees? We've got something sticking down right there. Can't tell if it's rotating. There's a lot of trees in here. We're down on the river bottom. Okay, so we've got that storm. Now I'm going to back up a little bit. Kyle's going to pan to the left. Look at this other one. That's the one we had earlier. Look on the right side. Those clouds are they are hauling the mail, feeding into that one. That one is going to be on the river west of Freedom. Now, if that keeps on the movement it's got, that'd be towards Alabaster Caverns up in that area, where the one that we're looking at here is, I'm just going to say it's over Freedom. So I'm going to bring you back again. That's over Freedom right there. So there's rotation in here, guys. I'm not liking this one bit. These clouds some of them are on the ground, and the organization is not complete yet. I don't want it to get complete. I hope something happens where it'll go away, but I have south winds into that storm. Back to you.
Yep, nice job. All right, so Marty and Kyle, again, up on the Freedom Storm, multiple tornadoes, right, out of this, at least 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, we'll find out. We had them live on the air, right? You saw them live right here at News 9, and that's the right side, right? That's the right northeast meso. Then we have the new meso trying to form on the left. All right, let's go back to Links 1. We'll keep Marty shot up. So, okay, exactly. There you go. So the first meso just got absorbed, okay? It's being absorbed right now. That little area right there. Watch that. Okay, that gone, okay? All right, now here comes the new. Right on the river again. Right on the river.
That's the exact same spot where the last one produced.
I don't think you're...
It's like 6.5 miles northwest of Freedom.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
We can now. Say that again.
6.5 miles northwest of Freedom. It's almost exactly where the last meso produced a tornado.
Yeah.
Is where this new circulation is.
Yeah. It's same spot.
I'm going to lapse it so you can kind of see the movement. You were talking about a storm track, David, but this is a 30-minute lapse. Watch that part of the storm. It has not moved.
No.
In 30 minutes.
No, and the tornado, okay, that I say this is the original. This isn't
Right.
the original meso, but this is the last meso that produced the tornado. Now, like you're talking about gone. Now here comes the new tornado, or at least the new mesocyclone. Man, Marty shot. I mean, that is really, really,
Yeah.
it's really impressive. But he's looking back here and then back to here, and that whole thing funnels. But it's not tightening up quite there yet, okay? It's not tightening up. But shear rate is kind of on the low end, which is good. We'll see what this does. Big hail in here, quarter, golf ball, tennis ball, baseball. Have we confirmed baseball size hail? Does somebody have? Just curious. Anybody call in?
I have not seen that big of hail.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
The storm that we were talking about earlier in northern Harper County, like Justin mentioned, it looked like that area is more stable. That storm has weakened, and the core has come down with it. So that next area of circulation north of Buffalo has weakened some.
Yeah, it's behind the boundary, and let's go back to Links 1. It's also in an area that's been worked over because those storms, this cluster was here earlier. We had those two small storms that took off about 2:30, 3 o'clock today, right? And so big storms took up a lot of the juice up here. Still unstable once you get south, fairly unstable, but these storms have weakened. Hill sizes have come down, but still lots of heavy rain. There's going to be some big flooding going on up north. So we'll say this again. Do not drive into water. We've already had fatalities last weekend. People driving into water, losing their life. Please do not do it. Turn around, don't drown. Okay? And rainfall amounts, 2 to 3 locally. There are going to be some spots in here that have seen 4 down to north of Freedom. Right? It's not good. It's not good. And just too much rain. You need the rain up there, but yeah. Okay, so that's another problem we have. Flash flooding north of Highway 64. There's going to be a lot of flooding in here. Ponds are going to fill up. Water holes are going to fill up. What creeks and streams you have up here are going to fill up. A couple of severe storms, not tornadic, in the Texas Panhandle right now, southwest of Perryton. Those will eventually make their way into Oklahoma, so we'll be watching those here tonight as they do, and everything farther south is way out there. Okay, so Marty on this, tornado warning continues for, again, Freedom. The tornado has lifted. Let's just get that out of the way. But the new hook is trying to set up west of Freedom. Big hail now running south of 64, over 64, and then along and north of 64. Golf balls, tennis balls, some baseball-size hail there.
And I just looked at the Freedom Mesonet, and they've had a southeast wind for the last hour, sustained at 25, gusts of 40 to 45 out of the southeast, feeding that storm that's just off to the west-northwest of the town of Freedom. So
Conveyor belt, bringing in.
With temperatures middle 70s, and the dew point is in the near 60 or so.
Yeah. And you guys, we were talking about that. I mean, obviously there was a wave coming out today, and that's what we were. And I promise, A50 jet's cranking up here as well right now. It's cranking up. So the hook is still here. It's not like what it was, but it's still a hook. Tornado warning continues for Freedom. Marty shot. I still see it. You see it right here. Marty's shot is, sorry, it's right there. It just went dark, but there it is. But there's Marty's shot right here in the middle screen, and that's going to be where the tornado is going to be if it forms. Right now, though, that has not happened in the last 10 to 15 minutes, but earlier, obviously, we had it on the ground for quite a while. Okay, so tornado warning continues for Freedom. We'll get a storm track. Well, you know what? I don't know if we need to right now. It's moving so slow that it's not moving.
I mean, even if you do it at about 5 miles per hour, that would put it in Freedom in about an hour. I mean, we're talking, you know.
Yeah, 7:10, yeah.
Close to 8 p.m.
Yeah. I mean, so it's not as strong. What do Vills look like? What about our storm strength? Just curious. It's still strong. There's no doubt about it. So it's still up here. You can see your legend, strong, right? It's still strong. Okay, but it definitely, it's stretched out a little bit. The hook's not quite as ominous as what it was. Okay, so Marty and Kyle, right here in Freedom. Tornado warning continues for you folks in Freedom, west of Freedom, north of Freedom, up to 64, and then 64 east over not quite to 14. We're not going to go that far east. This has a long ways to go, especially at 5 miles per hour. So I tell you what was interesting, that first storm that did not produce a tornado, I think it was moving too slow. It was moving east at
Well, every time one of those storms has lunged southeast, it has tightened up.
Yeah.
And so now it's going west to east.
Yeah.
It's not really tightening that spin. And it's
Yeah.
not lunging southeast into that southeast wind.
Yeah. But this storm had a little more speed to it. And man, when it came, look at the hook from earlier. And this thing took off right along and north of 64. Watch the hook. Boom, swirl, boom, tornado. And there we go. Okay, let's go to Marty Logan's shot here again. We'll take him full and get an update. Marty, your storm is nearly stationary.
I'm not liking this. Look, the feeder bands from the right. See it over on the right, feeding in. We've got the camera right in the center there. That is turning right there. I'm going to zoom in. Right there is behind the light pole. That area is starting to turn. But I told Justin this a little while ago, you can see those clouds back to the north, back behind that, are turquoise. There is very heavy rain, probably some huge hail, just on the north side of Freedom. I'm telling you what, there's a ground dragger right there. I'm not liking this at all. I mean, the way this whole thing is looking, let me see, our winds are still out of the south. We've got something going on, and I can't see it from here. All the clouds are like down on the ground. That is as wide a shot as we can go. The town of Freedom is right there. And I can't see anything past that front bank of clouds. Things just changed in the last 2 to 3 minutes. I don't know if that's pushing towards us as heavy rain and hail, or if we've got something else going on.
Say that again.
100 kids at Alabaster in tents.
Okay, your mic's off, by the way, Justin. So Justin said there's 100 campers.
Yeah, kids that are in tents at Alabaster Campground.
Okay.
Winds are increasing out in the south now.
I hope they're watching. If they're at Alabaster Caverns, and we got a lot going on.
And that's well south of
Hang on a
Freedom,
second.
just to point that out.
Oh, there's some motion in there. Hey, Justin, get him out of the trees. Yep. Just get him north. Just get him out of the trees. I need to see what's going on the ground right here. Tell Marty, hang on a second, get him north. Yeah, get him north. It looks like this might be trying to do it again right here. Yeah, just get out of the trees. Look at him, he's in the middle of a field, for gosh sakes. You talk about storm chasing. I mean, he has left the highways, the byways. There's your windmill. I mean, he is in the middle of a rural area, that's for sure. All right, so we're going to continue with the tornado warning again, west to north of Freedom. We've had multiple tornadoes today with this storm, and it has really put on a show here the last couple of hours with, once again, many tornadoes. 3 or 4. I mean, could have been worse. We know we hit something. By the way, there's a tornado. Tom's got a tornado in the Panhandle right now. See that shot? That's from Tom Pastrano.
Yeah, Tom and Hank are out there on that one.
Okay, that's a tornado in the Texas Panhandle. But these storms, again, are making their way towards Oklahoma. So that shot is from Tom Pastrano. That is not in Oklahoma. That's in the Panhandle. But that is coming, and that storm is headed towards Oklahoma. And that is a strong tornado, by the way. That's a strong tornado. Look at the motion. Look at the motion of the, basically, once you get up into where the tornado hits the wall cloud, look how fast that's rippling there. See the motion on that? Control room, do me a favor. Take that full screen real quick. Let me take Tom's shot. And again,
and this is west of Paducah, Texas.
Well, weather 115. Okay, strong tornado. Look at the motion of the left side going to the south. Look at the motion on the right side.
Marty might have something there.
Okay, big tornado in the Texas Panhandle. This is live on News 9. All right, let's go back to Marty's shot. Marty's shot. My bad. God, that's a big tornado in the Panhandle. Ugh, that makes me sick. That's bad. Marty, go ahead. Yep, go ahead.
Okay, I came back into town. I think we've got to have circulation on the northwest side of Freedom. I'm in town right now. You can see it right there behind that storefront. Strong south winds feeding into it. I'm coming into town, seeing what we can find. You're looking at it. I can't get you out of the trees. It's right there behind those trees. I think we've got something going on right here. I think we may have a tornado on the ground, right on the northwest side of Freedom. I'm going to have to get.
Okay. Hang on.
Winds are increasing out of the south. Winds increasing out of the south.
Okay, so this could be a developing tornado again. We've been jumping up and down about Freedom. Okay, Marty, hang on just a second. Let's get our bearing straight. It's very close. Marty's in Freedom, obviously, and I do not.
The storm is on the northwest corner of town.
Yeah.
Northwest corner.
Yeah, Marty, what's going on? What's going on behind those trees and that house right there? That's
what I.
Behind that pole.
If I keep going north, I'm going to drive into it. So this is coming to it. Sirens.
Mm-hmm.
Tornado sirens are not sounding right now.
Okay.
I'm sure that's a tornado on the ground just to the northwest side of Freedom. South winds have really picked up. Yeah.
Okay.
Bring it up just a little bit. Give him some more of the top. Look at that. Going up. Look at it. That's got to be a tornado on the ground, probably about a half mile from me right now, north of Freedom, coming to town. That's what it looks like to me right now. It's behind those trees. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it going sideways, right above that green tree.
I mean, it's definitely a tree hugger. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, keep it on. I'm going to move just a little bit further north.
I'll tell you, David, shear rate and maximum rotation have definitely increased, and this thing is moving due east.
Marty, just go a little farther north.
Yeah.
Let's see what it looks like here. Just get a little farther north. Yeah, it's definitely ramped up.
Okay,
it's where it should be. I just can't confirm it on the ground. It's close. I mean, we're calling it a tree hugger.
I can't confirm it either. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, shoot up there.
So,
shoot up there, Marty, real quick. Shoot up there. Let's see what we have. Sometimes these things, again, around the wall cloud will be literally in the trees. I mean, I'm talking about they are in the trees, and you don't have a tornado, but it's close. Let's just see what it does when he gets out of here. He's going to come out here. You're watching this live. Again, this is from Marty Logan. Let's see if we see any debris. I don't see that, but it's hard to see. The lighting is not good.
All right, we're clearing the trees.
The tightest rotation is less than a mile north of Freedom.
All right, Marty.
Over the road or to the right?
Okay.
Go to the right.
Yeah, go to your right.
All right. We're still looking.
Yep. It's right there now.
Straight ahead of us.
It's going to be
straight ahead of us. We're still moving north.
Yep, it's going to be on or to the right of the highway.
I'm getting very strong west to east, left to right winds right now.
Yep, you're on the back side of the circulation.
Yep, it's right. I mean, I'm within.
It could be on the ground. Again, if you live north of Freedom now, Freedom, you miss this one. It's north of you. At least this circulation is. It's north of you, about a mile to maybe 2 miles, now north of town. And Marty, what do you see on your right now? What do you see on your right? Yeah, right there. Hang on.
That's what Kyle, right there. Kyle's
right there.
showing it to you
okay,
right now.
That's coming in. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. That's coming in. Okay, that's coming in right here, and that's wrapping up right there. Tornado genesis is going to be right here.
Oh, the hook is tightening up. The hail core is increasing, David.
Okay, Marty, are your roads
It's
good to go
1
east?
mile. Yeah, they go back down on that road where we were. It's the only way I'm going to be able to do it. I'm pretty sure we got.
Right here.
We've got problems just north of Freedom. I'm going to back up just a little bit.
Yep. Here's your cone.
We're in the middle of the highway north of Freedom.
Yep.
And you're
just
looking
north of town.
back to the east. Look right over that orange sign. Strong circulation right there.
Okay, this is northeast of Freedom, about 2 miles. We're going to look for a cone in here. This is going to try to produce another tornado. Marty and Justin, are his roads good to get east?
Okay, we got to
go back south to get east.
Okay, go ahead, Marty. Get east. Bust east. Get east. Okay, are his roads good?
He'll have to drop a little south to get east. He'll have to go back sort of like the road that he was on before.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I almost want him to punch it to the north.
Cord, we just got another update and definitely tightened up even tighter, David.
Yep, let's go back to Links 1 here, control room. Tornado warning now north of Freedom. There's your hook. Look how fast. And this is exactly what it did. I mean, this is a twin of what it did earlier. It produced a tornado. It cycled, right? You think the party's over with? Like we said, like I've been saying all afternoon and evening here, you're born, right? You live, you thrive, and then you cycle, and then you die, and then they reform. And they're living and breathing like all of us, right? Storms, they're alive and well. And
yeah, that's the big old wrap coming around.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And it was a tree hugger for sure. But that was the wrap. That's what I was like, hang on a second, hang on.
The circulation is about to cross 50, David, where the 50 and 64 intersect. And I'll just tell you, looking at the map, I mean, it is definitely a rural area. People live in here, but folks from the area, Camp Houston Country Store.
Where's that? Right here?
It's going to be at the intersection of 50 and 64.
Right here?
Right there,
Okay.
yeah.
Camp, what's it called?
Camp Houston Country Store
Camp Houston
is what I
Country
see.
Store.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's right here. If you live anywhere along 64 and south of 64 in Woods County, boom, there's your tornado, lowest level, center part of the house. The tornado's not back in here. It's on this tip right here. Okay? And this is gargantuan, gorilla, mondo-size hail. Okay? Here you go. Big hail, baseball-size hail along and north of 64. Marty's right here, right? There's your hook. Big hail wrapping around. Look at your hail.
Wow.
Not good. By the way, one of you guys, Justin, give me a volumetric on this. This will be amazing looking in volumetric.
Freedom's going to get a lot of wind, at least with the wrap, and then maybe the big hail if it keeps wrapping around,
yeah,
for sure.
I think with the wind alone, I think the hail is blown into
Gets
Freedom.
shoved into it.
Even though the core may be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. But seen it before, and I think this is a driving north wind that's going to come ripping into Freedom, and you're going to get the hail. So Freedom, protect your property. You're not getting a tornado, but damaging hail, yes, you certainly can, and you probably will. All right, so Marty's making his way east, and tornado warning continues. The tornadoes now is northeast of Freedom. The circulation is, let's go back to Marty Logan. It's right here. It's right here. Go back to shear rate. Where does that pinpoint it? Yeah, it's right here. Okay. All right, let's go back to Marty. Let's take his shot. And Marty, there's your wall cloud. Marty, definitely increasing. Tornado warning continues now northeast of Freedom. Big hail just north of you. Keep going east. You're going to get back into some good air here, and you'll be able to keep traveling. Marty, what do you see looking at it right now? Go ahead.
Well, you can see that cloud right there. We're moving, I think, east-southeast right now out of Freedom, and we're trying to get out ahead of this monster. When I was commenting, I'm not liking this. That thing's on the ground. I think we had circulation on the north side of Freedom. We're getting a wraparound, bringing that hail and rain into the north side of Freedom is what I think we had. Side, and sure enough, man, it was blasting. So we're moving east-southeast right now, so we can get in a better position to look back at it.
All right, well, it doesn't look like, at least right now, that it's on the ground, but it's not far from it. And again, we've done this song and dance all evening long. I'm kind of tired of dancing. So this thing, again, wrapping up, big hook, Lynx 1. Marty is there. Look at that, folks. You want a classic textbook supercell, Screaming Eagle, V-notched. They're the wings of the eagle. There's your updraft. You get fanning out because of the updraft with the jet stream overhead. And the jet stream winds, by the way, are not that strong, but they were stronger today than yesterday. And that's why we're having this. And also we have this boundary up here. But this is a classic supercell, and that is a big storm with that developing tornado. We've already had multiple tornadoes. So if you live north and east of Freedom, get ready. It's coming into town right now. The hail is.
Justin, here you go. Here's
big hail,
shot.
big wind. I hear him. What's he got? Okay, have him keep moving, though. Justin, make sure he keeps busting because this thing is picking up some speed.
I'm going to measure it real quick, David. I've got a 15-minute lapse here just to measure the speed because it's definitely faster than it's been this whole time. So I'm going to take this back really quickly.
Get him moving,
and
please.
It's moved
he doesn't need to
about
stop.
6 miles in 15 minutes, David.
Tell him that it's picked up speed. It's not like what it was. He's going to have to keep going now, okay? Tell him just to keep looking at it. Let's again, Marty is getting in position. He's still in position. He's right there looking right at it. I just want him to keep going down the road here because this thing is picking up speed. Lace, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
No, you're fine. I was just measuring it. It's moving at least 20 miles per hour. I mean, it really picked up.
Okay.
So I'm going to do a storm track for you really quick.
Yep.
Eventually Alva and Avard, if this holds together, we'll see what it does. So there you go.
I don't see how Alva misses it.
At least the hail, if nothing else. I mean,
Yeah.
unless it slows back down and does something crazy. But
just for fun, what some of the dew points, what are the temperatures over here? What are we, 70s, temperatures.
Yeah,
and
low
then
70s.
what are our dews?
Cherokee 72 over 61, Lahoma 72 over 62,
Yeah.
Breckenridge 72 over 61.
Earlier today, that's what I was talking about with Justin, that our temperature and our spreads were like this.
Yeah.
We weren't 80 over, so low dews, but doesn't matter. Plus your higher elevation, you're in northwest Oklahoma, temperatures are cooler, your cloud bases are going to be lower, and you get tornadoes. Okay.
So Alva is included in the tornado warning. Put the storm track to Alva, bringing it in about 8:42. It could speed up, slow down because it's had erratic movement.
Yeah.
But for now, that's the track.
But this is the fastest that any of these storms have moved all day, okay? Moving east-southeast at least all afternoon and evening. All right, so big hail, right? Mondo-size hail in here. Coming into Freedom, that's damaging hail into Freedom. This is going to be baseball-size hail into Freedom. Look at the hook. Goodness gracious.
And I do have the volumetric on 4.
Okay, let's go to Lynx 4 control room. I want to show you what this looks like. We're going to take this and stick it in 3D mode. And go ahead and zoom in here. Let's take it back. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's called the vault. Back up in here and look at the mesocyclone on this thing. I mean, kind of tilt it up here for me. Give me some help.
You want to tilt it that way?
Yeah. And then kind of go in, fly into that. I just want to see, yeah. I mean, that's incredible.
It looked better a couple minutes ago because it was open.
Yeah.
Now it's closing.
It has. It's closed in.
You can see how the updraft goes up and tilts over to
see
the right.
See the angle? That's the mesocyclone there. See how this is tilted? The jet stream winds are tilting the mesocyclone. This is the updraft. Downstream, there's the downdraft. And look at the okay, going tight on this, Justin. Look at the volumetric on that. If you love weather, that picture is nuts. Look inside the mesocyclone. Look, oh my gosh.
Oh, it's a shaft. That's insane.
I almost want to crawl in there. Not really. It's not good.
You can see the bear's cage.
I know. Oh my gosh. Okay, and look at the meso here. Look at the tilted tube is where the tornado is, right? Look how high that goes in the atmosphere, folks. That's why when you see a tornado, it's just not at the base of the cloud, right? It's all the way in here. It's all the way in here.
And there's the velocity data too. I know that looks amazing, but just making sure you're seeing
back.
the velocity and how tight it is, David.
Let's go to velocity
with what
data.
we've had east of Freedom now.
Okay, so this is nearly on the ground again. Marty shot. I see his shot. It's right here. Okay, so we're at 100. We're at 120 gate-to-gate shear, which means we've got 60 one direction toward the radar and 60 moving away from the radar. That's a tornado. It's on the ground. Okay, new tornado on the ground now, northeast of Freedom. Tornado on the ground. Let's go to Marty now. Let's go to Marty Logan and get an update. Marty, tornado on the ground. Velocity data. Velocity data supports it, Marty. Tornado is on the ground. Go ahead. It's back to your northeast. Go ahead.
All right, we're getting the shot lined up right now for you. We don't see it on the ground, but loosen it up. Look right back in here. Right back in here.
Hey.
Right in there.
Hey.
I think that's going to be our tornado. That's going to be our tornado. That's what probably we were looking at on the north side of Freedom. It's right behind that pole, and we are to the southeast of it right now. It's grinding. It's on the ground. That's it. Record. That's it, on the ground right now. I'm going to get out of the truck and get a better look. Oh, yeah. It's wide. It's big. It's a wedge. It's a large tornado, it looks like.
Yeah.
That's why we were looking at that thing, and I said, I don't like it. It's a big tornado is what it looks like to me. That's going to be northwest of me. Look at that rising motion. My gosh.
Marty, let me jump in. What direction are you looking? Yeah, donut hole. Marty, it's a strong tornado now, Marty. It's a strong tornado. It's got a donut hole in the middle of radar.
Yes.
This is going to be a killer tornado. If this hits you and you're not in your safe spot, there's a chance you could lose your life. This is that type of a tornado.
This is going to a wedge
Marty,
tornado. Now you see it.
Zoom in on it. Zoom in on the base, Marty. Zoom in on the base.
This is 3 miles to the northeast of Freedom.
Tornado on the ground. Large tornado. There's a large tornado. There's the left side of the cone. There's the right side of the cone. Folks, this is a large, deadly tornado. Lowest level, center part of the house. You're seeing it live right here on News 9. That is a large tornado on the ground. Why is Marty not closer? The roads are not good. But if you live, again, this is going to be northeast of Freedom, 3 miles northeast of Freedom. It has not crossed 64 yet, but it's about ready to do it, okay? Big tornado. Left side, right side. I'm going to guess it's going to be a half-mile, quarter-mile wide tornado. quarter of a mile wide, maybe wider, maybe a half-mile wide tornado. Again, another vortice out ahead of it, another vortice out ahead of it. Right here, that tells you how much shear we have going on in the atmosphere. That's not the big show. That's not it. The big show is back here. Big tornado. Big tornado here, right here. This is a weak, wimpy tornado compared to what's going on back in here. All right, let's go to velocity data. Let's go to velocity data. And again, look at the couplet. Look at the couplet, folks. Large tornado now on the ground south of Highway 64, northwest OSU at 8:33, Alva, same time, 8:34. There's the center of the tornado. Let's query some of the data in here.
Okay.
Capron, oh, sorry. You're fine. Go ahead. What is that?
There you go.
70 and 49.
Ooh.
Okay, just updated. What do we have now?
Oh man, it's folding.
Okay. All right, so it's a strong tornado and it's a big tornado. 128. Okay. Now we're upwards. Now we're getting to the EF3 range. EF3 range, maybe stronger. Strong tornado now. Coming up to Highway 64. If you know anybody that's traveling on Highway 64, do not drive west, okay? This is a strong tornado, large, strong tornado on the ground. This can be a killer tornado. There's the tornado in Marty's shot. Let's go back to his shot here. There's your tornado live on News 9. That is a big tornado. Look at the cut. Look at the cut at the top. See that line right there? That is the mesocyclone. That's the wall cloud. This is a large tornado on the ground. Justin, what direction am I looking here? Look at the size. It's a half-mile wide tornado. It's a half-mile wide tornado.
And I'll say, just for folks joining us, if you're just now joining us,
Wow.
this is in Woods County in northwest Oklahoma.
Yes.
It's now to the northeast of Freedom.
Yes, nowhere near Oklahoma City. All right, Oklahoma City, we're good. We got nothing going on this evening. It's all good. But this is a large, large tornado. Goodness gracious. Okay, it's wrapped in rain. That's why we could see it, right? Now we can't. It's wrapped in rain and hail. Worst case scenario. Strong, right? Large tornado, wrapped in rain, moving east with, again, no way to see it at all. Okay, let's go back to Lynx 1. Big tornado. Look at the hook. The hook, it's occluded. It's wrapped into it now. It's surrounded by rain. We had a little bit of, there's a hole. That's the weakness. See that? Where there's kind of a void of precip right here. That's the tornado. That's the tornado. All right, let's go to shear rate. Let's see what it looks like. It's got to be maxed out, or at least close. Yeah. Okay, max rot.
Let me change it here one
Okay.
second. I was just about to look at,
Okay.
there you go. I'm going to lapse this just
Tornado.
to show you too. Look how slow it was. It's lunged, and when it lunged, it's when it strengthened and started to produce the tornado. Now it's moving very slowly.
Yeah, it slowed back down again.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be potentially a deadly tornado. If this hits you, again, north and east of Freedom, up to 64, it's 4 miles northeast of Freedom. If this hits you and you're not in your safe spot and you're not in the lowest level of your home, you could lose your life. Okay? I'm just telling you. That's what's going on with this. We've got winds in here upwards of 130 to maybe 140 miles per hour in this tornado. It's a half mile wide. Okay? This thing means business. We'll see if it weakens. But right now, it is south or on or south of 64. And what you worry about are people that are traveling up here that just don't have any idea. Oh, it looks dark.
Yeah.
We're going to drive into it. And they don't know, right? Or they're not from here. That's what you worry about. But this is a big tornado. Again, northeast of Freedom.
And it looks like it might have occluded
Oh,
to
it
the
occluded.
north.
Yeah. Yeah. And now it's slowing down. And the tornado has weakened some. But it's still on the ground. Okay, it maxed out. What was our max on that? What'd you have right there?
128 was the max that I had found.
128?
Without clearing everything, yes.
Okay.
But you can see the evolution of it. I mean, it went from
Yeah.
kind of broad to
Tight.
tightening up, and then just look, it's parked itself, David. This is now a 15-minute lapse,
Yeah. Okay. So.
and it's sitting and spinning basically.
Yeah. Yeah. And okay, so that's a strong tornado. EF2, yes. EF3, maybe. Maybe. Depends on what it hits. Depends on yada, yada, yada. But I don't care about any of that. I don't care about after the fact and the surveys and what it was or wasn't. I'm telling you right now, we have winds upwards of 120 to 130 miles per hour on the ground, and we had that kind of wind in here. Justin, what do you got?
I was just going to say, besides the tornado, there's been prolific rainfall rates along and north of 64, along with baseball-sized hail. So it's not only just the tornado damage itself or what if it's hit. There's localized flooding and baseball-sized hail that's probably being flung around by 60 to 70 mile per hour winds on the north side of that mezzo that's demolishing any trees or homes that are out there in that area. So this storm is really affecting a large area around north of Freedom.
Yeah. I mean, this is the kind of hail and wind that's taking the siding off the house. You cannot be in a mobile home. You cannot be in a trailer. You cannot be in a camper. No. And this is the kind of wind and hail on the back side of this that will take the siding off your house, and it'll blow out every west and northwest window you got. And then the hail is going to come through part of your house. Seen it.
Freedom just had a 61, David, out of the northwest.
There you go. So Freedom now getting wind damage. What's the hail look like in Freedom? How close is it on reflectivity here? Is it just to the north?
I mean, it got close when it came through with the hook. Right
there it
there.
They had to
At
have
least the
some,
north side of town.
Yeah, had to have some hail north side. Okay, so here's your drain, right? All spinning, right? Tornado on the ground. It's been a strong tornado. Still is. Not as strong. Not as tight, but still, this is still a fairly large tornado. Nothing like what we had live earlier on the air, okay? Marty Logan's right there. Marty's getting back in position here. He can't see it, though. Nobody can see it because it's wrapped in rain. Let's go back to Marty Logan's shot. He's right here looking back to his northwest. And, yeah, there it is. Okay, so this is the right side. This is the right side of the wall cloud, or what I call the ringer on a bell, right? This is the right side of the bell. And then on the left side of this, you're going to have another ski slope that's going to look like that. By the way, if you watch this, see that rippling up? See that rippling up? That's the bell. That's the right side of the bell. Oh, man. Okay, so you got that going on. And on the left side, you're going to have just the opposite. It's going to be doing the same thing, but on the left side, right? And in the middle of that is where you're going to have the bell, right in here, right? So we'll see if we can't get this thing to lift.
Just had a 63 in Freedom, so winds are they're almost sustained. Over 60, yeah.
Yeah, Freedom, you're getting hammered right now. We're with you. But you're getting hammered with a northwest wind. This tornado is stationary. By the way, let's go back and look at CC.
Okay, I was looking at it, and I'll tell you, I keep looking, too, just at how rural it is in this area. I mean, there are trees, but as far as debris to pick up, to see,
didn't hit anything,
there's not a lot to see, which, I mean, hey, that's a good thing. But here's debris, David, and I'll take it back where you can see.
Take that full, thank you, control room.
And there we go. And then I'm going to put back on reflectivity.
Okay, let's do
shear.
this. Here's
we'll do maximum
Freedom.
rotation. So see right there, and then watch. This is the only area where I think it was debris.
Right here.
Is that it? Yeah.
I think that's probably it.
And then I'll kind of take this back so you can see it just kind of in that one area, one scan.
Yeah. And another thing too up here, there are trees up here, but they're small trees. There's not a lot of big trees up here. There's some. But if they don't get lofted high enough up, the radar cannot see them, right? The earth is round and radar beam is flat. So the radar beam goes straight, and we're still hitting the storm low, but the debris might have been lofted below the radar beam. But I can tell you by looking at velocity data and how strong it was, this has been on the ground, and it has been wrapped in rain. There's your couplet looking right back at you, right? We have the green. Look how tight it was. Man, okay, so it is spinning down some. It's not as strong as what it was. And it's stationary again.
It almost is moving north or northwest.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But barely.
Okay.
I mean, it's...
Yeah. So,
but as that's happening, look at the backside of the storm. It's starting to lunge to the southeast, sort of like how it's done before,
all day.
trying to get that boundary, try to get that warm air.
There we
with
go.
The southeast wind at Freedom, it's still pulling it in.
Man, I'd love to have a sounding right now. What's going on south of there, like 30
30
miles in the 850. Okay, so let's go back to Marty here and get an update from Marty Logan. And I get new hook trying to develop south of Freedom. Marty, go ahead and take it.
So our winds have just went north, David. Just went north. You're looking. This is broad, very broad, probably 3 to 5 miles across of what we're looking at. That was a huge tornado that was embedded in that hail and rain curtain. But right now, straight to our west, down the river, looks like maybe real close to Freedom or south. I see more circulating clouds. You're looking at our shot that is north towards Highway 64, and that is very busy in there. It's trying to do something. So, again, the whole area in here is trying to circulate, get its act together again. Now, our winds are north. I went north within the last 3 minutes. North winds. What's that right? Yeah, I mean, we keep seeing little tags hanging down. It's not circulating. There is some little tags hanging down. So, again, I'm looking straight west of me. That may be pushing out from maybe some outflow. So we're looking at straight north. There is a tag coming down right now in that cloud. So I can't tell you if there's a tornado embedded in that. We can't see it right now. So we're here watching it. We're probably about 3 miles straight south of this storm. And then Justin said the storm's about a mile south of Highway 64. Deputies are here talking about who lives up on 64. And they're getting the game plan together. As soon as these clouds move on through, they're going to have to go in and start doing some searching. Back to you, David.
All right, nice job. All right, Marty, great job today, my friend. And you and Kyle, again, have gone above and beyond for the folks of northwestern Oklahoma, as you always do, and we do appreciate that. So remember, this is crazy. I mean, people wouldn't, I mean, we live and breathe it, and we know what we're doing, but people run from this stuff. But our storm trackers, Kyle, that's Marty's storm chase partner, and I tell you what, these guys have done a phenomenal job today tracking this down. It's not been an easy chase either. Roads aren't good, and this thing is slowed down, it's sped up, it's been wrapped in rain, it's been wide open, they've seen it all. All right, so it looks like right now, Marty was talking about a north wind, so it looks like the tornado has lifted. The storm is not as strong, which is good. The tornado warning continues, though, but I want to point out the circulation, it looks to us like it's weakened enough, okay? It's weakened enough. The tornado warning continues, but it looks like now the tornado has probably lifted, but it's close. Marty's right here. There's his GPS. There's Freedom. You're getting hammered with wind. Now you're getting hail back into Freedom right now. And this is also the new hook trying to develop in Freedom, which is not good, or southwest of Freedom. So we might have another storm, well, same storm, but another mesocyclone, another area of spin trying to develop, right? And it'll start top and work its way down, and it's on that boundary. Still a south wind, just south of there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just south of there. Alva and then Fairview's the closest.
Okay.
But yes, definitely south wind still that far away.
Okay.
And the storm, I mean, the strength has come down slightly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not enough that it's, dying completely. And like you were saying, that area south of Freedom now
is prime.
Is lunging. Yeah.
Yeah. And still in the zone for sure. Okay, let's just back out of this just for a second.
Okay.
I just want to point out we've got some action up here into Harper County. We do have severe storms in the Texas Panhandle. Those will eventually make their way probably back into Harper and Ellis. And anything coming towards our western borders besides like southwest Oklahoma down here?
Everything so far is way down there.
All right. Okay. Well, we're not going to worry about that then. We'll come back to that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's come back and zoom in here. So tornado warning, big hook, right? And the hook, and we had the big tornado, went just to the north of Freedom, wrapped up, put down a big tornado, quarter-mile wide tornado, maybe a half-mile wide tornado, for sure a quarter.
That's a 1 hour lapse. And Justin was just saying this too, David. Look north of Freedom at all the wind and hail that's been going on for the past hour continuously. Oh. North of Freedom and for folks north of Highway 62.
There is hail up here that literally are inches deep of hail, and big hail, and small hail, and big hail. All right, so Marty is, okay, what direction is, I think Marty's looking off to the west. Is he not? It is. Okay, let's go to Marty Logan here. Okay. And let's bring back Marty. Circulation has come way down. Marty, are we looking off to the west? Marty, what direction is that? Is that west? Give us an update.
Yeah, that was the west storm, but we think that's going to be outflow. So I'm turning back around. Let me get you back in here, looking north, because I was just telling Andrew, it looks like to me that we've got a new area right in here that we're going to have to watch. But our winds are east-northeast right here, and we're looking straight north. That's probably about 4 miles north. And I can see the base of that cloud is very busy. It is still, oh, there in the lightning, you saw it there. Not on the ground, but there is a base right there straight north of us, and that's going to be south of Highway 64. As I said before, 2 deputies standing here. They're getting their figures, trying to figure out where they're going to have to go and look up there just south of 64, north of Freedom, if anybody lives up in there. So thank goodness it slowed down, so we're here watching it. Back to you, David.
All right. Okay. Great job, Marty. So this is the area of spin. This is off to his northeast, and we have the area of spin back to his southwest. So we have 2 areas now, but I'll tell you this. It's come way down. Circulation has come way down compared to what it was, which is good. But we've done this, 2, 3, 4 times today. Okay? And yeah, also we need to get, if we can, re-rack that video when it was doing that and the little cone came down. You know what I'm talking about, if you can. All right, thank you. All right, so there goes the first tornado. Now, here we go. See this right here? I know. It's going right down the boundary. Okay, so Justin, Marty's looking northeast there, right? Let's get his camera back to the west and southwest.
He's looking due north right now.
Yeah. I think that party's over with. I think we need to start focusing back to the west and southwest. And also his position, he needs to be thinking about going south and back east again. He needs to be thinking about going south. The roads get a lot better once he gets farther east. He's got to get east of the river in here. But man, once you get over north of Woka, roads in here, they're not great as far as moving around, but they're better. Okay. So tornado warning continues. And the tornado is not on the ground right now. Looking at velocity data, I'm just telling you, it's not on the ground. Earlier, half mile wide, strong tornado, at least an EF2, winds upwards of 140 miles per hour. 120, 130, there might have been some 140 mile per hour wind gusts in the tornado, okay, as it went just north of Freedom, okay? All right, but the circulation is much weaker right there on 64. Control room, just go ahead whenever. Let's go back to that first piece of video when we had it live right here on News 9 of the tornado. It was earlier from Marty Logan. This was the beginning of the tornado genesis when this began. And there's the tornado. And notice how much smaller it was compared to what we just had, right? But that will go down as an EF0 or an EF1. Winds inside of that are going to be less than 100 miles per hour. But if that hits your house, it's a very, very pinpoint 100-mile-per-hour wind gust. So that's why you can lose the roof. Look at there. Condensate all the way. Condensate all the way. Right? You saw that live right here on News 9. Condensate all the way. But you're thinking, okay, remember the tornado, it's not on the ground, Payne. Yes, it is. The condensate, it's not on the ground because the pressure inside of the tornado is not low enough to get the cloud to form. But it's still on the ground, doing damage. Now, notice how it starts to take on that double helix. See those 2 little cones? It's weakening right there. It starts to weaken. This was earlier, right? During our 5 o'clock newscast. And then it kind of lifts a little bit. Okay, so that's what the first tornado of the day looked like. Second cone, a little wider up top, still on the ground. But the condensate at this point, not on the ground. But this tornado was on the ground at this point as it was just to the west of Freedom. Okay? And then if we can get the other second piece of video in here one more time, or the second one with the other tornadoes, we can show that. And we had that small elephant trunk tornado that developed. We had the small debris, then the big cone. So this tornado keeps going. And I'll show you that video of the next piece of video. So that tornado keeps going there, right? That's that one. And we have debris on the ground. Again, it's not going through homes at this point. People live here. And then all of a sudden, I started to notice a little piece of swirl over here, and it wasn't tied to that. And then Marty looked up and saw an elephant trunk tornado coming in. So we had 2 tornadoes on the ground at the same time right here on News 9. So there's the left side of the swirl of the spin. There's the right side of the swirl. There's the cone. And you're thinking, there's no cloud. I know. There's no condensate from there to there. But that tornado's on the ground.
Right here, closest
See this right here?
Yeah, close.
See the elephant trunk that came out of the mezzo, right? This is still part of the same mezzo. This came out, and then this is what I noticed. We were live with this on News 9. I noticed this right here, a little swirl going on. And then this attaches. It's already on the ground. He zooms in on it, and these two tornadoes were on the ground. This is still on the ground in the background, right? And this is your elephant trunk up front. And it did hit something because when he zooms in, right here, when I ask him to zoom in, and when he does, you'll see the debris being lofted into the air. Right here. Watch this right here. Right here. So that is attached to that cone, and there you go. And see the chunks of debris, right? So it did hit something there. Barn, home. We have crews checking, news is checking. Tornado on the ground. Okay. All right, and then we'll show you the other bigger tornado here in just a little bit. This is inside of Freedom. Freedom, it was a white knuckle ride, right? Right? You're living right, Freedom, because it went just north of you. But this is the wrap on the mesocyclone. And I know you folks in Freedom, if you were looking outside, you should have been in your storm shelter. But if you were looking, you were like, oh my gosh, because the video doesn't do it justice. When you see this stuff in person, it is legit. I mean, you're like, oh my gosh, because it's a tree hugger. It's right above the trees. Not the tornado, but the wall cloud. And this was rotating around the backside of the mezzo. So crazy. Okay, let's come back to what's going on right now. Back to it. And once again, the tornado warning continues. For the part of the storm that was rotating earlier, that is gone. Watch the hook. Okay, that's gone. That has been absorbed back into the storm. Here's the problem. The new mesocyclone is developing farther to the west, okay? Okay, it's developing farther to the west. So we might get yet another tornado out of this storm.
Yeah, the area that was the larger tornado, it is definitely still there. Yeah, isn't that wild?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still right there.
Yeah. South of Highway 64. I'm telling you, the worst road to be on in our state today, Highway 64. There's been tornadoes south of it. You've had gorilla hail, quarter golf ball, baseball size hail that has been going on for well over an hour now. Baseball size hail north of 64 on the wrap. And watch the hail come around on the updraft. See the black and the white? See how it comes around? It's on the hook. So if the tornado doesn't get you, which over an area this large, okay, the hail will. And it's going to be driving hail with a north wind of 60 miles per hour and baseballs. That'll knock out every north window in the house. It'll knock out every window in your car. So this is why we say move away into the center part of the house, not just for the tornado, but also for the hail. Okay? So Lacey, it's crazy what it's doing right now.
It is. And Marty's right there. I mean, it's about on top of him now. It started to lunge again. It went from station. Watch how it swings, David. That hook just swings so quickly over Freedom and now all the way to where Marty is. That's
Marty's location, he just had north winds. So he's going to move east a little bit, but he has north winds at his location. Okay, let me ask you a question. From there to the south, how far is the outflow boundary? Where's the front? If this thing gets undercut with a north wind, it will not produce a tornado again. Okay? But we still think we have some inflow going into this. When you guys go to velocity data, what do you see on the wind field out here? Do you see anything at all? Okay, well, circulation is still back to his west. There's the old circulation. It's nearly gone. And like I said earlier, these things will spin and spin and spin, and finally they just spin down and they go away. Okay, so tornado warning continues. Hopefully we've had our last, right? But the tornado warning continues for east of Freedom for now, but let's go back to reflectivity.
Okay.
It seems like this biggest storm and that biggest circulation, it's dealing with some rain-cooled air.
At some point.
Definitely just lunged. It's cycled so many times, and it hasn't moved.
No, that's a problem.
It needs inflow, like you were saying. Like the southeast winds are strong right next to the storm, but it's not like a big wind field that's supplying rich, warm, moist air to it. Yeah.
No, it's too slow. I mean, if it's in its own environment, like you said, it's not too big. But if it sits and spins, you can, which is a good thing to have happen. Okay, so Oklahoma City, we're good, right? We're good right now. We look good. Now, I'll say this. Later tonight, we will have storms like we have now in the Northwest. These and the Panhandle storms are eventually, and the Dodge City storms are going to get their act together, and they're going to slide south and east into western Oklahoma this evening and for a while overnight tonight. We're going to be here. It's all good. But I'm just letting you know that we will see rain and storms in Oklahoma City
The
later
gust front
tonight.
is, the storm itself's not.
What's that? What'd you say? You're hot. Okay, so storm in Harper County is severe now west of Buffalo, also near Freedom. This is the big daddy of the day, no doubt about it. And this storm is so large that it has just taken over the atmosphere in northern Oklahoma. It's punched through, right? It's gone through all levels. It's 50, 60 feet, 1,000 feet high, okay? And big hook now developing. And Marty is right there. Is Marty getting back in position? I see his shot, and it looks like he's almost, no, he's moving.
He's definitely moving east.
Okay.
He's moving east.
All right, just want to keep him going east here just a bit. All right. So it's a broad area of circulation. It is not tightened up like what we had and like what we've had the last several hours. But we've done this before the last couple of hours. It spins down, and then it cycles, and then a new meso forms like is happening right now, and then we do it again. There's the new hook developing. That's a problem. And this is going to be Highway 14. This is Avard. This is Alva. You folks in Alva, again, you need to be watching, paying attention. You might not get a tornado. You've got a better chance in Alva of getting absolutely hammered with big hail as it makes its way down Highway 64. And some flooding, right? It's just now beginning to rain barely now in Alva. But your hail core is back to the west. So we'll see what it does as it goes down 64.
In the Freedom area, rain's finally letting up some. I mean, from a blinding rain and winds
hail,
for,
yeah.
everything's finally moving out of Freedom. So
Right.
it is finally getting an easterly shove.
Yep. Okay, so tornado warning continues. This is going to be east of Freedom. And also, guys, we can do a storm track. I guess let's,
Do it again.
put it in the sweet spot here. Yeah, let's bring it over to Avard. And, you got to put Alva in it. I mean,
Yeah.
they're right in the middle of it. Speed, 15.
To it-
Is that what you got?
At
Close
18,
to it?
just
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I get it. Avard at 842. Northwest OSU, that's up in Alva. Northwest Oklahoma State University. A lot of kids there. It's a fairly big school. Alva, 9 o'clock, okay? 9 o'clock in Alva. That is the dangerous part of the storm as far as that tornado threat right now. But you're still going to get wind and hail before 9:04 in Alva, okay? Tacoma, 9:25. Carmen, 9:49. Lambert at about 9:50. Okay, so tornado warning continues. Hopefully this will weaken some more, and this is just a severe storm, which is, again, going to produce wind and hail, but we will lose that tornado threat. We hope that happens, but so far it's not as strong as what it was as far as the rotation, but we're still getting, things like that, talking about shear rate, showing fairly intense area of spin. Not crazy strong, not as strong as what it was, but definitely there. Definitely there. Okay. So tornado warning. It does continue. But right now it looks like, looking at velocity data, if it's on the ground, it's a weak tornado. Let me put it that way. And see that right there?
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint an area
I know.
where you actually have a couplet. It's
Right.
all kind of broad.
It's very broad. Look at Marty's shot, though.
Oh, he's looking right at it,
Yeah. Let's go to Marty Logan's shot. And this will tell you the story. You think we still have something spinning? And, okay, so here you go. So you've got feeder bands coming in from the northeast and the east. I call this always a cigar cloud. Looks like a cigar sometimes. This comes out of the rain-cooled air. That's being pulled back. You're going to watch over here for this side. This is being pulled in from the left. And I want to point out, see this big band coming in? That's the next level up. These are like pancakes on a plate at breakfast, right? We've got this thing right here coming in. That's just the lower deck on the base of the storm. Here's your wall cloud. This is all feeding into this area right here. And then above that, we have all the plates where you can see that mesocyclone that go all the way up. Okay, let's go to Marty. Let's bring Marty in here. And Marty Logan, it looks like, well, still an area of spin, still rotating. Tornado warning continues now. East of Freedom, you're looking right at the area of spin. What do you think? What do you know? Go ahead.
Okay, when we pulled up at this location, we had an east wind. Now we're starting to go a little bit northeast, and you're looking northwest at the base of that storm where that band is. I'm bringing you down, and that's looking back to the west towards Freedom. And that thing's pushing hard from north to south. But something I'm noticing, there's a band on the outside of this that is going to the north. So we have very broad rotation happening right now. In fact, look right. See the clouds closest to us going from left to right, which is south to north. And look back there, you can see them going right to left, which is north to south. So there's still broad rotation in here. And this is, again, it's a huge area. That isn't all of it. That's just all I can get in the shot. Right there is the leading edge. You can see my face right here. There's the leading edge of the cloud. So it's a huge area. And we're still going to head east and get over Highway 14 and see what we need to do from there. Back to you.
Hey, nice job, Marty, Kyle. Great job. Okay, so hopefully this will spin down, and we're still going to have severe weather up here all evening, but hopefully we can lose that tornado threat. But right now, the tornado warning continues because the circulation is still strong enough. And when I look at this right here, so as you start to watch this like I am, you'll see these little folds coming over, and see this left side, how there's kind of a slot in there. Sometimes you'll see this fold over, and this will go in behind it. He's looking exactly what I'm looking at, because it looks like this is trying to come back around. I'm not saying it's going to do it right here or whatever, but you start to watch these little tiny local areas where things are going to try to spin and spin tighter and faster. And when they start to spin tighter and faster and they, restrict, you can have some problems, okay? And that's exactly what we don't want. Go ahead.
I was just looking at radar and the characteristic of this storm, and we've been talking about tennis ball, baseball sized hail.
Yeah.
There's a stronger, what we call rear flank downdraft, the higher winds coming from northwest to southeast that's ahead. Sometimes the circulation from developing a tornado is out of the hail core, and where some of the highest reflectivity that we see on radar is where some of those winds are screaming northwest to southeast. So you're talking about 70, 80 mile per hour winds coming with this large hail of golf balls to baseball size hail with this thunderstorm, and that would have zero visibility now that we're almost at sunset along with that. So it just continues to be a very dangerous storm moving southeast of Freedom towards north of Woka.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, damaging winds and big hail, that's going to impact, more people because it covers a much larger area. But the area, again, Freedom, for now, this is off to your east, but not by much. Okay, so if let's just say we go with this, and I see it, it's no doubt about it. I mean, that is spinning. You don't have to be one of us to be able to tell that. So that's tighter. Marty's looking off to the northwest, and he's getting back in position, but that's that right there, okay? All right, and maximum rotation showing that. Okay, that's spinning, and there's the inflow notch. What did Marty say his winds are? Okay. I'm just curious, because that's the inflow notch. Look at this like it's alive and breathing. That's the mouth right there. That open, and that mouth is open, right? That's where it's bringing in its warm, moist air at the surface. Now, if it gets undercut by shallow front, by a north wind, that will end the tornado threat. It'll still spin and produce big hail, and yippee-yi-yay. But as long as this has a surface of air flowing into that right there, you're going to have that tornado threat's going to continue. Okay? So that's a problem. What'd he say his wind is? He's not responding. Okay, he's getting back in position. So this is going to be still east of Freedom. This thing, golly, it's been south of 64 for... Okay, there it is. That's getting stronger. That continues to ramp up some. Okay, big hail. Gosh, the hail is so big. Goodness, look at the hail here. Look at that. The black and white blob.
Yeah, you can't even imagine if someone's driving, like you were saying, David, on Highway 64 and driving into that unknowingly. My goodness. Bust out every one of your windows. I mean, maybe even blow you off the road just with the wind. Look at the wind picking up now.
Yeah. I mean,
that's north wind.
I mean, this is one of those that if I'm in Alva, I'm going to close Highway 64. I mean, seriously. Because, I mean, you can die in here, right? Baseball, softball size hail, wind 70 to 80. If you drive through that right now, you're blowing out all the windows in your car, at least half of them. Now, how fun is that going to be? Oh, yeah, and the hail's going to come inside and it's going to hit you. That's what we're talking about right now.
And the hook just got a little tighter again.
Yep.
Marty's right in it.
Yep. He's looking back right there. I see Marty shot. He's getting back in position. It's trying to tighten up. Shear rate getting a little stronger now. This is going to be east of Freedom, south of 64. The tornado warning continues. And there you go. There's where your tornado is. What about debris? Just to make sure. Let's see what we have. I'll hold my finger here. Nope. Okay, that's all good. Nothing crazy in there. God, look at Marty's shot. Let's take Marty's shot, control room.
Gracious.
Look at this. Control room. Let's take his and look at the plates lined up. Yep.
All right, Marty's back, and he has an east wind.
Okay. There you go.
East wind with Marty.
That's a problem. Okay, Marty, Kyle, go ahead, and we have your shot up. Right there, my friend, that's where the new mezzo is. Right there and to the right, maybe outside of your shot, right in there is where the new area of spin is. And that whole area, it looks like a UFO, like we're being invaded. This whole thing is spinning hard from left to right. Go ahead, Marty, give us an update.
Yeah, backing up, trying to get a different look here. So we're Highway 14. We're going to be just north of Woka. I don't know how far it is north, probably 5 miles or so. So this thing is lunging down to Woka. Justin and I were just talking on which way to head with this storm. This thing's still turning. I can see it turning right here ahead of me. Back to you.
Okay, so hopefully, it's going to keep spinning. We know that, but hopefully it won't spin. Look at the shot, though, folks. Goodness, look at that. I mean, the plates in that.
That's a mothership right there.
Yeah, that's the big daddy right there. I mean, that tells it all. Okay, so that is a problem, and that's, okay, right there. Okay, here's my thing. Okay. Hey, Marty, can you hear me? Marty Logan, can you hear me? Right here.
Yes,
right? Okay.
yep.
Okay, right.
Kyle.
Yeah, right behind the
Kyle's
tree.
got to spin.
Yeah.
Got to spin.
I know, right behind the, yes. Yeah, get past the
Here we go.
trees. Yeah, get past the trees. Okay, here we go.
Is it going to do it again?
I don't know, but this is what I was like, hang on a second.
Whoa, look at that shot now.
Yep. It's getting hard to see, but
And
Marty,
remember now, it's
Definitely trying
8:08.
to
We're getting
localize.
close to sunset.
Yep.
Oh. Here we go. Right here on the right side, look at it plunging to the. Those two are coming together right over the road. The stuff from the north is flying south. The stuff from the south is going north. Watch it right there. It's going to be just left of the road when those two come
whole
together,
radar.
probably.
There's a hole.
Yeah,
Man.
the hook is.
Okay, they're just starting to join right there.
Okay. This might be.
Can you see what I'm talking about?
Yes. Yes. Is it right over the road or just to the? Yeah.
Yeah, just left of the road.
Oh, we're losing daylight.
So that's going to be about 1 to 2 miles west of Highway 14, northwest of Woka. All right, they just met right there.
Right here.
See what happens.
Okay. What's velocity look like? Is it still?
It's kind of broad on velocity and not incredibly strong. If there is a tornado in there right now, it looks on the
weak.
weaker side.
Yeah. Big hail though. Gosh.
Yeah,
Big hail. Baseball size hail.
but there is definitely. I mean, the circulation is tight.
Okay. All right, Marty. Stay right there. We're going to keep your shot up. Now Marty's going to be, and Kyle, they'll be chasing by power flashes, wind direction, and lightning. And I'll say this, I have not seen a whole lot of lightning.
All right, well, let me turn it back on. I haven't seen it in his shot, no.
That's what I mean. I mean, yeah. I know we've had some, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know you. Yeah,
I just haven't seen like a lot of, I haven't seen a bolt in, been a while.
sure.
Think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
I know it's there, but
Well, now here
there's
it comes.
one.
Now there's something coming over the road.
Okay.
Something coming over the road farther back in there. And after we've already had 2 tornadoes in the same shot, I wouldn't put it past it right now. So
Yeah.
we're just sitting here watching.
Okay. All right. What's over the road, hanging down? Like right above
That's
the
part
road.
of the stuff that was, that
Okay.
was part of the stuff that was going from south to north, and that may be one right there.
Okay. What? Yeah.
We're watching.
All right. Looking at velocity data, it's not.
Now we got something to the left.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah. Oh, there's something there, a little scud hanging down. We'll see what that turns into.
So we've got that. Then I go to the right, which is north. That's over the road. There's an area right now. You know, we're getting dark enough. It's going to be difficult. I'm just going to broaden it out. Look at the pancake. Look at the saucer right above it. Look at those knuckles in there. Golly. Hey, that deal on the left. On the left.
Yep. Right here. I see that.
Rapid movement.
Yep. I see
Don't go
it.
in too close. Back out just a little bit.
Marty's on Highway 14, correct?
we're losing
Looking off
light.
to the west. Highway
Correct.
14.
Highway 14.
Okay. Highway 14, looking off to the west. This is up in Woods County. This is going to be how many miles east of Freedom? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well, we're going to be north up. Our alarm's going off. So we got a tornado warning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to
Well,
be
just-
north of
Another one.
Woka.
Yeah.
10 miles to the east, southeast of Freedom.
Okay.
We're looking at it. And now we're going to be battling darkness. That we do not see it on the ground. I'm going to widen that out because we're just going to lose too much light.
Yeah.
You can still see the knuckles. Now it's gone. It's embedded in that rain.
Okay.
And this is headed southeast towards Winoka.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting to get hail.
Yeah. Hey, Marty.
MP up
Marty.
to Dimes. Yes, sir.
Hey, real quick.
Yes.
You need to drop a little farther south here. Yeah, this thing is
Okay, on
moving
my way.
east-southeast. So, yeah, you guys go ahead. I just don't want you to get caught in the hail. So, yeah, start heading south, and we'll get you back in position here. You know what I mean? I don't want you to get back in the big hail because it's right outside Kyle's window right there. Okay. All right, great job, Marty and Kyle. All right, Lynx 1, let's go back to that. Here's your storm track, Avard at 8:43. And then that's with this moving straight, basically in here. There's a chance that it could always do one of these. So Alva,
Here, I'll take it
Knoll,
up to Alva.
up to Brink. And we'll throw Alva in there. 906 in Alva. But right now, yeah, see how it moves and then it stops and then it does one of these.
And that's the history of the storm this entire evening.
All day.
So you can almost bet it's going
All
to
day.
do that. So it speeds up, lunges, tightens up, and then lifts north and weakens.
Yeah.
And slows down.
Yeah.
And it still hadn't slowed down quite yet.
No, it's still moving, but it's not moving as fast as it was when it produced the big tornado.
No, definitely
that was
not.
20 or 18 to 20.
Yeah.
Now we're down to, I don't know, was it moving 10?
I did
15?
15 just
Okay.
to, be
I get
safe.
it. But man, look how this thing is doing though. I mean, it's
Yep.
just tumbling,
Yeah.
tumbling.
And you can see that in a shot. I mean,
Yeah.
goodness.
Okay, but it doesn't look, okay, I'll say this. As far as a tornado threat, it could tighten up and do it. And again, it could, and it could easily inside of here, but at least it's not a big hook hanging out. I mean, you're at Advance, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, yeah, I mean, look at, oh gosh.
I know. That's the next storm.
Okay. But look right here. I mean, we've got some pretty good winds out of the west now. Okay. Yeah, there's your gust front. So, okay. I mean, it is just spinning right.
It's so wrapped in rain now.
right there. Tornadoes right here if it's anywhere. What does shear rate look like now to you, Lace?
Let me see.
Okay, it's right here. It's inside of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just completely wrapped up in the wind and the hail
Yeah.
and the heavy, heavy rain now.
Cora down to Fair Valley, well, east of Fair Valley. Big hail up and down west of Highway 14 here, and then Highway 14 up to 64. That's that is nearly the worst intersection in the entire state of Oklahoma right now for the reason of wind and hail. I would not want to be driving through there right now at all.
And while you're looking at that, I just want to show you the severe storm that's coming into
Yep.
Harper County once again.
Yep.
And
Still a
I'm just going to switch
supercell.
radars really quick. There you go.
Big hail. Big hail. Golf balls. There's a couplet in here. There is.
There you go.
Yep. Okay, just north of Ralston. So we're looking at golf balls, for sure quarters, maybe some golf balls in there. It's going to have bigger
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah, switch radars. There you go.
Yeah, golf balls. Okay, north of Ralston. Okay, so Ralston, north of town, severe. Winds in here, 50, maybe 60, right? Instability up here. What's left of it is not crazy high, but things can counterbalance that with the mesocyclone and things like that. So winds 50 to 60 with golf ball size hail, that'll do some damage. Okay, so storm strength, it looks like that storm has weakened a little bit in the last 10 minutes or so up in Harper County. And the storm down here going down towards, gosh, turn radar back on. Is this thing going to go into Woka?
It's going to try.
It's, okay, go back
Switch here to Vance.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. It's, yeah, you're going to get, it's going into Woka.
Yeah, so instead of moving due east, it's almost gotten
Southeast.
more of a south lunge.
Yeah, it's trying to eat up the boundary. Trying to eat up the boundary. Okay, so tornado warning continues north of Woka. If I live in Woka or north of Woka, I'm paying close attention. I'm watching what's happening. Big hail in here. Protect your property, your cars, your vehicles, whatever. Move it, cover it, wrap it up, because big hail's coming. And this storm is still producing quarters, golf balls, and tennis ball size hail. Okay? So circulation is right here still, northwest of Marty. And I'm looking at Marty's shot. He's a little farther south now.
Yep. Shear rate and max rotation just ramped up a little bit.
It did.
Just west of Marty, so this is still going to be west of Highway 14.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to turn on the hail detector, so still tennis ball size hail.
Yeah.
I mean, the storm is so tall.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, tennis balls
Yeah, the
between
updraft
Cora
is just insane.
and Marty here, east of Fair Valley. It's big hail. Big hail for sure. Okay, wow, what a wild afternoon that turned out to be, and a wild evening. Goodness. Okay, I like the shape of the storm as far as not looking as big and bad, okay? I like that it's not looking as screaming eagle-ish, if you will, more blobbish. Still has a deep mesocyclone in it. Still has a tornado warning on it. I'm just telling you what I'm thinking here. And right now, I like the trend in the last 10 minutes or so. Can it change? Yes. Will it? Absolutely. Could it come back? Yeah. What are the winds down here? Just down farther south, Lace, down in Woods County.
Pointing Woods County.
Yeah.
So Alva has a southeast wind. It's at about 15.
Okay.
And then further down Fairview is southeast at 15.
Okay. What's
That's
their
the
temperature?
closest.
What's their dew points?
We've got 69 over 62 and 69 over 63.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's more than enough in this part of the state. Andrew, any pictures? Anybody up there send some pics in?
Yeah, we've got several pictures. If you want to show them from earlier, we actually got a couple videos too. I know, obviously, we've got Marty's video.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
But that's all on Links 4.
Links 4 control room. And tornado warning continues. And these are just some of the same stuff that we had live on the air. There was the tornado on the left. This was a little cone that came out ahead of the main tornado, which at that, oh, there you go. Lacey.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't see the very tip of that from Marty's shot. You could see the top of it, the top half. From miles and miles away, you could see that thing.
Yeah.
So wide open.
Yep. So, and this is the stuff that Marty had. We had
Yeah.
this live, but just different perspective. I love that. Exactly 1.37 inches wide.
I mean, he would use calipers. If anyone was going to do it, it would be Marty.
I know. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to get those for the storm trackers.
Precision is the name of the game when
Yeah.
it comes to Marty.
I know. 1.37. Okay. So that'll do damage. That'll wreck your car. You get a new roof out of it. The hail core, right? Still big hail now. There's where the hail is falling from the northwest of there. So, yeah, thank you for those that send in pictures and videos. We do appreciate it, but don't lose your life for it. It's not worth it. Okay. We love your pictures. We love your video, but we don't want you to die for it.
Try to do that one.
Okay. All right, back to Links 1. And the hail core here, this is where the hail has been.
That's in the last 2 hours, David.
Okay. 2 hours worth.
2 hours of just crawling.
It's been a hail monster, producing quarters, golf balls, tennis balls.
25 miles in 2 hours. It's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so tornado warning continues again north of Woka. The storm does not look as organized as what it is. Still has a meso in it, but like I said, it will till we call it a night, right? These things continue to spin. Circulation is right here.
That's another new area. It's
Yeah,
just there's been so
where's
many.
the original? What did we do with that?
Here, I'll take it back a little bit. It's about 30-minute lapse.
Okay, there's that.
There you go.
Okay, so that moved east. That's gone. Here comes the new one. Yeah, it's this whole thing. Yeah, it's back up to where Marty was.
Yeah.
So, Justin, what are Marty's winds right there? Are they still southerly?
I'll ask him.
Okay. All right. Okay, so tornado warning once again. You folks in Woka, Avard, you're going to get hail, and if you live in between Avard and Woka, get ready. This is big, big hail. This is golf ball, tennis ball, baseball size hail. Coming down Highway 14, it's a destructive hailstorm. And some wind. It's the kind of hail that'll blow out a window, north window, west window. And look at that. I mean, there you go. See your legend? Baseballs, baseballs. And the radar is pretty close to being right. Big hail. Okay, so, wow. Tornado warning, ongoing. And we'll put reflectivity back on here.
Okay.
And let's, okay, what I'm interested in is see how this is, now it's backwards C, I get it. But it's still trying to kind of hang out here a little bit. Now, if there's a gust front in here, we're good. But I don't see that
I know,
yet.
I keep looking, and you're not able to see.
I don't see it.
No.
I see showers popping up out ahead of it over Bouse Junction, right?
Yeah.
Just looks like a high precipitation supercell now where
Yeah.
those mesos are tucked way back into the hail and rain core with that outflow boundary off to the southwest. And like
Yeah.
you mentioned, can it pull in the air? There's a little bit of a southeast flow at the surface with the winds ahead of it, looking at mesonet 10 to 15, but it doesn't have like, widespread southeast winds funneling into that storm at 25 to 30. Like some evenings that we have during the spring, these evening events where the low-level jet kicks in and those surface winds are feeding the storms at 30 to 35. It's not that kind of a setup right now with this storm system as it peels to the southeast. It's definitely trying to find the warmer air, it seems, where it's more of a southerly movement than an easterly movement like it was here in the last couple of hours.
Yeah. That's good if we can just keep it. I mean, it's still a big storm producing damaging wind and hail, but the tornado warning continues. Here's Oklahoma City. We're doing great. Lace, real quick, what are some of the data doing for tonight?
That's what I was just looking. Still just brings in
Brings all this in?
brings it to the east and weakens it,
Okay.
through the overnight. But more storms that are up in Kansas just keep coming in, perpetuate down to the south. Another complex comes in
Okay.
during rush hour in northwest Oklahoma, makes it to the metro 6, 7 a.m. if
Okay.
you believe that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
a lot more rain headed to northwest Oklahoma. Potentially 2 more
Yeah.
waves if you believe this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, they've needed it. But parts of Woods County, you've ended your drought.
Completely.
You know what I
yes.
mean? I mean, yeah, and it's crazy how it happens like that. But either way, all right. So severe storm now over Ralston. The rainfall amounts. What do you have? 3, 4, 5, 6. What do you have
Now
there?
we're getting up to 6.
Yeah, 6.1. So a half a foot of rain along and north of Highway 64. So the flash flood warnings going on.
Yeah, there they are.
Flash flood warning north of Freedom. Flash flood warning north of Buffalo. Do not drive into water. In the last week, we've had 4 fatalities in Oklahoma due to flooding, and 1 fatality due to the tornado. Okay? So that's a problem. People do not drive into water. All right? It drives me crazy. And remember, you got there on dry pavement, right? Stop, turn around, don't panic, just go back the other way. No big deal. You just came through. If you're on dry pavement, it's all good. Just turn around. Just turn around. Don't drive into water thinking, oh, it can't be that deep. Yeah, it's so much more powerful and moving so much faster than you think. Okay? It's the number one killer. Number one killer is water. All right. So that storm is severe. These are not now south of Freedom. The severe storm that's produced all the tornadoes now is now coming in on Woka, now coming in on Avard. It's sliding, gosh. I mean, it's really coming in southeast. Alva, you might completely miss out on any hail.
Look at how it's lunged significantly more to the south now.
Yeah, and now looking downstream, Carmen, right? Cleo Springs.
Yeah, I'll do more of a
Orienta.
broad track on it here.
By the way, I want to say there's only like 2 models that had this today, forecast tools we use. There were some that had it. Had this blob starting here and sliding southeast overnight tonight. If the 850 winds kick in, this is going to go on. This is not going to, I don't care what the models say. We'll see. But if the 850 doesn't come down, or if it stays up, these are going to feed into that tonight. But the atmosphere is more worked over because we didn't have as much heating here today too.
According to mesoanalysis, we got a 850 wind at 10 knots
Yeah.
out of the south right now.
Yeah, that's
much stronger as you head
Yeah.
out in the Texas Panhandle.
Yes.
But here, where those storms are, it's 10 to 15, so fairly light right now.
If it stays light, but I think it picks up tonight. As I recall looking at data. If take a look at that on.
It does in western Oklahoma, but
Okay.
where they are right now and
Okay.
to the east, it's fairly light.
Okay, all right. We're just talking this through, just thinking about what's going to happen with this storm. What I'm thinking about, is it going to make Oklahoma City? Okay. I'll tell you what, Lace, just for kicks and giggles, let's put a storm track on that. Let's bring it into the metro.
Okay.
Because right now, if you back out of that, I mean, this is starting to
Yeah, and earlier data definitely brought it into the metro.
Okay, what's the data do with it now?
Now it keeps it further north, but that may not happen. I'm
Okay.
adjust the speed here. Just give me just a second.
Okay. And again, this might not happen. We're just, bringing it south and east. It'll pick up some steam. It'll pick up some speed. Yeah. Jen said viewers don't know what the 850 wind is. I don't know why, Jen. I mean, it's a low-level jet, and it's part of why we have tornadoes and why we have so much of our weather. It's the wind that's really, really fast above our heads, about 5,000 feet. And as long as that is feeding into it, it's a conveyor belt of moisture and instability. Okay, and it just keeps feeding the storms.
And the direction of it's always key too. So we're always
Yeah.
looking at the direction of it because
Yeah.
that gives you turning with height depending. So
If it's a southeast wind, several thousand feet up, you got problems. Okay, so storm track into the metro. And again, might not happen. Some of the data says it's close. Oklahoma City at 12:47 in the morning, so between midnight and 1 a.m. We'll see. This might be the beginning of a complex that is happening and developing right now that's going to slide south and east this evening and come into Oklahoma City here after midnight tonight. There's a chance, okay?
And
yeah.
I was just saying, and if you look closely at radar, how you're starting to see the mechanism of MCS, MCV, you're starting to see that north side of the
Yep.
convection
That's what I was
start to
looking at.
feed back into it. So
Yeah.
it's starting to develop a low pressure with a large complex of thunderstorms. We've seen this now 3 nights in a row that
Yeah.
we've had complexes of thunderstorms
Southwest Oklahoma.
somewhere in the state, Southwest Oklahoma. You remember that, Lacey? The last 2 nights, she's been
do.
here overnight
Yeah.
tracking those, and now North Central Oklahoma, like
Yeah.
you said, might peel off to the south
I-
towards the metro.
I think so. I mean, that to me, when I look at that, this storm right here looks like that's the one that's going to try to do it. Okay. All right, so severe storms in the Panhandle, and also those are going to make their way in. They'll merge together. Those will come in. Those are all severe. And then they're going to get together, and then we might have some issues with that. Okay, turning into a big lob and then sliding southeast overnight tonight, producing large hail, damaging winds, and still an overall low tornado threat, okay? All right, so the big storm, tornado warning continues. Now coming into Woka. That's where Marty is. Let's get an update. Is he getting gas, or what's he doing right now?
He just filled up gas, and now he's heading eastbound. So yeah, he's on the road again.
All right, so
Full tank.
Oh, that's good. Looking at shear rate, I don't see anything besides, this. That's crazy. But the tornado warning continues, and it's definitely not back in here. So it's right back in here still. Let's go back to shear rate.
Okay.
See, it's really, really hard to find. Okay, that is certainly not crazy. And okay, now go back to yeah. The area of spin, I'm telling you, this thing it's coming down right now. I mean, as far as the tornado threat, don't get me wrong, it's still a big bad storm with wind and hail and all that going on. But this is going to be sliding off to the east, coming into Avard, east-southeast. Hopeton, over through possibly as north as Tacoma. Alva, you're going to get maybe some small hail, a little bit of wind and rain in Alva now, but not severe. The big hail is going to be to your south, it looks like. You might get some hail in Alva. I don't say you're not going to get any hail, because you could, but the big hail is running from Cora or Highway 64 down through Woka. So the tornado warning continues, but if it keeps going in this direction, we're going to lose the tornado warning. It's definitely coming down. The spin is not as tight, not as big, not as bad. Okay? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, every scan for like the last 10 minutes to 15 minutes has been on a downward trend on the rotation.
Yeah.
The hail is not going away.
No, look at that.
So you know you've got a massive, powerful updraft right there.
So the black is going to be golf balls, the tennis balls, and the white is going to be some of the baseballs in there. So along and east of Highway 14, south of 64, west of Avard. If I live in Avard, I'm bringing it in, I'm wrapping it up, I'm covering it up, I'm hanging on. If I live in or west of Avard, you're going to get a damaging, destructive hailstorm. Okay? The tornado threat continues to decrease right now with this trend. By looking at radar, the tornado threat continues to come down. But you folks in Woka, you're going to get some hail. It's coming in from the north. All right, big hail. The biggest hail is west of, again, Avard, and again, right along Highway 14. That's really some big hail in there. Okay? All right, so let's go back. Let's get another update from Marty. And let's take Marty's shot, Justin. We'll take Marty's shot full. Marty, looking off to the northeast there, what do you think? What do you see? And the tornado threat, it has come down some, okay? It's not as tight as what it was earlier. Go ahead, Marty.
Okay, so I just talked to a trooper, 3 deputies here in Woka. I had to get fuel, and those guys are circling back around, going to go back up to Freedom and then back east to Freedom, see if they can find any damage. Then Justin and I were just talking, and I was going to go 281 and go east out of Woka, but he's thinking probably I need to forget that, drop south to Bouse Junction, and then go back that way, because I can already see the leading edge up north. It is well east of where I'm going to be, and if it's going south any at all, we're going to get slammed. And so we're going to make a U-turn here in Woka and head back south and get set up again. You know, actually, I'm ready to be bored, David, so if we can just call this off right now, that would be fine with me. Back to you.
So let's, Marty, let's just keep going south with this. Your roads, again, continue to get better. You're in Woka. And if you go back east on 281, you're going to get clobbered. I don't want you to lose a windshield tonight. So let's just keep going south. Let's just see how far we can go.
David, just south of Woka, of course, is the Little Sahara, and getting messages from people saying, hey, there's a lot going on at the Little Sahara Dunes right now south of Woka. The rattlesnake hunt is going on there this weekend, and there's always something going on in springtime in Oklahoma. Now, it does look like, as far as the tornado threat goes, if you have friends or family there, I'm guessing people camp around there and things like that. But definitely, I'm getting so many messages from people saying, oh yeah, lots of campers as well, at Little Sahara. So south of Woka, the hail, you're probably going to get some hail there. The biggest hail core may go east of there unless this really starts to dive farther south. Winds easily 60 to 70 miles per hour wrapping around this system. So I would not want to be in a camper at all, tent or nothing like that when this is coming on through. The hail with this is going to be maybe quarters. You might get some golf balls through Woka and south of Woka. But if you look further north, I mean, unless this takes even more of a southern turn, this may go just east of Woka and east of Little Sahara as far as the most threatening part goes. And as far as any rotation, it just keeps getting more and more broad, David. So for all the folks worried about friends and family up at the Little Sahara or in the Woka area, there's a downward tornado threat, but you wouldn't want to be in a camper.
No, no, gosh. I mean, the wind is still going to be 50, 60, maybe 70, like she was saying, and the hail. So you can be injured in a hailstorm, okay? And but the circulation is going away. So any weaker, we're going to drop this tornado warning on this thing, because right now the trend is down, 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 after, you know, putting on quite a show live on News 9 with all those tornadoes that Marty Logan had today. But you can see what was left of the spin right there, and then it just fans out. It's not as, colors aren't as bright. So the greens and the reds aren't as bright, right? Still spinning. It's still spinning, no doubt about it. Like I said, this thing will spin until the cows come home. This thing will spin all evening, but the tornado threat can, it can go away. And that's exactly what we need it to do here. And as it moves out of northwestern Oklahoma, closer, farther southeast, the instability is a little bit less. The low-level winds are less. The conditions aren't quite as favorable, okay? As you move away and down towards central Oklahoma here. But that is a big storm, and it means business. I mean, that's going to be a north wind coming into your home of 50 to 60 miles per hour with gusts of 70 and up to baseball-size hail in a pretty good swath, too. Pretty good area of hail, right? Quarters and golf balls, tennis balls, and even some baseballs still in there. Okay, there's your hail path or your hail swath where it's been.
You notice how it was making the beeline east and then just dove south.
Yeah.
You can see the hook there on that, the path.
Yeah. Yeah, I made a big curve. So if you take that, back out just a second on that hail.
Okay. Yep.
If you take a straight line, where's that going, right? That's coming into, Major, Watonga, and eventually Kingfisher. Andrew, are we good?
They closed early.
Gotcha. Okay, so again, this is a storm, and that's a storm, and this is a storm that I'm worried that's going to turn into a bigger storm complex and roll south and east. But for now, the tornado warning continues. Again, that's going to be for eastern, southeastern Woods County. The circulation is much weaker than what it was, so that's good. It's still severe, still has a hook on it, a little more of a hook now. God, this thing. See how fast that escalated.
Not seeing much in the way of low-level
No,
rotation, but you're
no.
definitely getting a hook. So you've got some inflow feeding in.
Yeah. Yep. It's still trying. Right here, there's the open spot, right? Right. That's where the air is flowing into. The mezzo's here. The old mezzo is still up in here somewhere, but it's a far cry from. Yeah. If it stays the way it is, or a little bit less, we'll drop this tornado warning on it. But we're getting there. We're getting there for sure. All right, so once again, hook, big storm. This is the same storm that produced 2, 3, 4 tornadoes today. We had those live again right here on News 9. And the hook now coming into Winoka with big hail. Not a tornado threat for Winoka right now. And again, where the rotation is, it's not very strong. I'll be honest with you, right now. The trend is definitely weaker on the spin, weaker on the threat of a tornado, lower on the tornado threat. Okay?
I've been checking power outages because you would just think that at least Freedom would be completely without power. I'm not seeing it measured yet or being reported yet.
Okay.
Doesn't mean that there's no power outages, but
Yeah.
so far, much of this has been in very, very rural areas.
Yeah.
But man, what
Yeah.
a big storm.
Man, the hook is
I
getting
know.
more pronounced.
We had completely lost the hook for about 15 minutes.
Watch this try to do it again with the conditions out ahead of it. Are you kidding me? All right, so the hook continues to get a little bit stronger. Doesn't mean that's going to produce a tornado because, again, some of the dynamics over here are not as impressive as what they were back here, believe it or not, just by that short of a distance. But that's a problem. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, there's just nothing in there that's just screaming tornado. There's an area of spin, I get it. But the new mezzo's is right here. And I just don't see much that looks like, oh boy, I see it, but it's not like, oh no. Here we go again.
Well, hail is definitely coming into town now.
Yeah, right through Winoka.
Biggest hail is north.
Severe storm for you folks in Winoka. Quarters, maybe golf balls in Winoka, right? Coming into town right now with a driving north wind at 40 to 50, might have a gust of 60. So damaging hail and wind coming into Winoka, 40 to 50 on the wind. So as long as the wind stays down, you're still going to have some hail. Okay, so the tornado warning continues. Again, from it's up in here, but the main area of circulation is down here now.
Yeah, it's almost out of the
Yeah.
zone.
Yeah. So this is what we're concerned about here. The area of spin up in here is basically gone away. So we'll see what this does. So we're going in the right direction. As far as the tornado threat, the storms are going to continue. That's going to continue. And this storm back to the west is beginning to ramp up. Let's check out Harper County again.
Okay.
And storm is severe, now running from Laverne. What's the movement on this? Southeast, how good? Yeah, God, that's going to May. It's going to Fort Supply, going to Fort Supply Lake, but really May is next. And then Fargo, right? You folks in the Northwest, that's going to come in. Fargo at, May at 8:56. Fort Supply, 9:13, 9:22 at Fort Supply Lake. And we'll say Woodward at about 9:51 in Woodward. Okay, Moreland at about 10:10 and Harmon at about 10:38. Okay.
And the tornado warning is being canceled.
There we go. Okay. So let's get a quick update from Marty one more time here. And Marty Logan, we have your shot. Give us a quick update. What do you think? What do you know? Go ahead, Marty.
Well, we are headed southbound. We just crossed the Cimarron River, and let me tell you, there's a lot of campers at Little Sahara Park. Hopefully they have storm shelters there just to get ready for the strong winds that may be moving in and the big hail. The town of Woka, we stopped to get fuel. They already shut the quick stop down. I think they've been listening to us, so they knew that it was headed in. And right now we're repositioning, getting moved around so we can get on one of these two storms that's moving south and east and try to get set up again. Back to you, David.
All right, nice job. So one more time, no tornado warnings now. We were talking about this thing continues to weaken. So the tornado warning has now been dropped, which that's good. We're going to watch it here minute by minute. Let's go back to Links 1. Here's Oklahoma City. This is in Woods County, Woodward County, not severe in Woodward County, but the storm in Harper County is severe. These are moving easterly. These will eventually start to make the turn, okay? These are going to move east and then start to slide southeast. These are going to keep pushing off to the southeast, and they're going to kind of get their act together. We'll see how far they make it. But there's a chance they make it into Oklahoma City after midnight tonight. But no tornado warnings in effect. This is going to be severe thunderstorm warning, again, for Woods County, eventually coming into Major County. You folks in Fairview and Orienta, back to Bouch Junction. Big storm, but the tornado threat for now, it's gone, okay? Doesn't mean it cannot come back, because it certainly can. We all know that. But the trend is down on the tornado threat, and the trend is certainly with us with the wind and the hail threat, okay, as it makes its way off to the southeast. So, all right, that's the way it looks right now. Folks, we're going to take just a short break. We're going to be back. As always, stay on News 9. We'll keep you advised.
If there's anyone from your past that you think we might be hearing from,
What did you do? Hello, Andy. It's been a long time.
I need you to tell me now.
You're not going to hear from anyone. I'm quite sure of it. This man has spent the past 33 years covering his tracks.
What's this? Everything of hers left at the scene?
The noose is tightening and he's running scared.
Do get home safe.
But we always get our man.
And bingo was his name-o.
Elsbeth is all new CBS tonight at a special time, 9/8 Central, and streaming on